In a quiet village, where the forest breathed secrets and shadows lingered between the trees, lived a girl whose kindness was her only strength in a world that showed her none. This is the story of Vasalisa, a girl who walked into darkness and returned with her light. Once, in a small wooden house at the edge of a vast and ancient forest, lived a young girl named Vasalisa. She was known for her beauty, but those who truly saw her knew it was her heart that made her special, gentle, patient, and full of quiet strength. But life does not always protect the gentle. When Vasalisa was still very young, her mother fell gravely ill. On her final night, she called Vasalisa close and placed a small wooden doll into her hands. "Keep this with you always," she said softly. "Feed it when you are in trouble, and it will guide you." That night, her mother passed away, and with her, the warmth of Vasalisa's world faded. Not long after, her father remarried. Her new stepmother came with 2 daughters, both proud, selfish, and filled with jealousy. They could not bear Vasalisa's beauty or her quiet grace, so they turned her life into hardship. While they wore fine clothes and laughed by the fire, Vasalisa worked endlessly, cleaning, cooking, carrying water, and laboring from sunrise to nightfall. Yet she never spoke a word of complaint. Because every night, in the silence of her small corner, she would take out the wooden doll, offer it a piece of bread, and whisper her worries, and somehow, each morning, the burden felt lighter. One evening, as a cold wind swept through the village and darkness crept into every corner, the stepmother made her cruelest decision. She extinguished every candle in the house. Then she turned to Vasalisa with a smile that held no warmth. "There is no fire left," she said. "Go into the forest and bring it back from Baba Yaga." Her daughters laughed quietly, because they knew what this meant. No one who entered Baba Yaga's forest ever returned. With fear in her chest but courage in her steps, Vasalisa walked into the night. The forest was alive around her, branches groaned like ancient voices, leaves whispered under unseen feet, and the darkness felt as though it was watching her. As she walked deeper, she saw strange riders pass her path, one dressed in white like the morning light, one in red like the burning sun, and one in black like the endless night. Time seemed to move strangely, day fading into dusk, and dusk into darkness, until at last, she saw it. A crooked house standing on giant chicken legs, turning slowly as if it had a will of its own. This was the home of Baba Yaga. Before she could gather her breath, Baba Yaga appeared, tall, thin, and terrifying, with eyes that burned like fire in the dark. "Why have you come?" she demanded. Vasalisa lowered her head but did not run. "My stepmother sent me," she said. "I have come for fire." Baba Yaga let out a harsh laugh. "Fire is not given," she said, "it is earned." She set before Vasalisa a series of impossible tasks, sorting grains from dust, cleaning every corner of the house, and preparing meals before the break of dawn. "Fail," she warned, "and you will not leave alive." That night, alone and afraid, Vasalisa took out the small wooden doll. She gave it bread and whispered, "Please help me." The doll stirred in her hands, as if awakened by her trust. "Sleep," it said gently, "I will do the work." And so she slept. When morning came, every task was complete, perfectly done, as though no effort had been needed at all. Baba Yaga watched her closely, her suspicion growing with each passing day. Again she gave harder tasks, and again Vasalisa succeeded. At last, Baba Yaga demanded the truth. "How are you doing this?" she asked. Vasalisa answered quietly, "With my mother's blessing." At those words, something shifted. Baba Yaga stepped back, her power faltering in the presence of something stronger than fear. She could not stand against the force of pure love. "Take your fire," she growled, "and leave this place." She handed Vasalisa a skull filled with a strange, glowing flame. Holding the burning skull, Vasalisa ran back through the forest, guided now not by fear, but by something steady within her. When she reached home, her stepmother and stepsisters rushed toward the light, but this fire was not meant to warm. It revealed truth, it carried justice, and it burned brighter than cruelty could survive, and in its glow, their wickedness consumed them. Vasalisa stood alone, but no longer afraid. She had walked through darkness and returned stronger. She left that life behind and traveled to the city. With the help of her little doll, she became a master of weaving, creating cloth so fine that it seemed touched by magic. Her work reached the royal palace, and the king himself was amazed. When he met Vasalisa, he saw more than beauty. He saw resilience, kindness, and a strength that had been forged in hardship. In time, she became queen, yet even in the palace, surrounded by gold and light, she kept the small wooden doll close, a quiet reminder that love never truly leaves us, and that even in our darkest moments, we are never as alone as we feel. Strength does not always roar. Sometimes it whispers and still endures. Kindness does not make you weak, it makes you unbreakable. And when life sends you into the darkest forest, remember, the light you are searching for may already be within you. Tell me, what do you think guided Vasalisa more, the magic of the doll, or the strength she carried inside her heart? Comment your thoughts.